The Family Plan was a pretty good film, which it came to Apple TV a couple of years back. And just more recently, Apple TV just got its new sequel, The Family Plan 2. But is it anywhere better than its predecessor? Or is this one just a complete major bust, especially when the family's going on a big trip to Europe for this little plan? Find out in this spoiler free review right now. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome again to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. I'm the Big D, and this time around, I bring to you a spoiler free review of the 2025 action comedy holiday flick, Christmas that is, The Family Plan 2 from Apple Studios, produced along with Skydance Media and Mark Wahlberg's Municipal Pictures. Wahlberg's back in this film, along with Michelle Monaghan, Zoe Colletti, and Van Crosby reprising their roles from the first film, alongside Kit Harington. This, of course, is the sequel to the 2023 film, and is once again directed by Simon Selin Jones, and also with story once again done by David Coggeshall. Now, this film just premiered a couple of days ago on November 21st of this year. But unfortunately, like its predecessor, it has gotten much more dissing than before. But I really won't get into too much of the details. Now, if you have not seen my review of the first film, you may want to check it out by clicking on that card, in case you might have missed it, or if you want to see it again if you'd like. Well, here's just some of the story, but I'll give you a little more, just heads up without giving you much spoilers, okay? Well, apparently, Dan, of course, Dan Morgan, who, of course, was also known as Sean, well, thought he had gotten his past out of the way, as he used to be kind of like a spy or an agent who, well, killed anybody who got in his way and what have you, and became a perfect family man for his whole family. Or so he thought, because this time, Dan, along with his wife Jessica, their son Kyle, and their youngest son Max, who's now grown a bit, well, are kind of feeling a little, I don't know, because, well, their daughter Nina's in Europe. So, they decided to go for a trip to Europe during Christmas time, and Dan had planned the perfect vacation for his family until his past continues to haunt them in unexpected ways. Apparently, soon Dan comes across a new kind of a well, hard to explain though, in the form of Finn Clark. Yes, who turns out to be, well, I will not give you that anywhere on that, because then that would ruin everything. I would spoil it. So I'm just gonna finish that, what the story's about. So if you want to know more of this story, you need to check it out. Despite the film's dissings big time, it's at 15% on Rotten Tomatoes, which that's like 3% less than its predecessor. And Metacritic has a score of 38. Well, I really don't have much information on what they could give, but I could find out. Please stand by. Okay, well, I really don't have much of what Rotten Tomatoes is, but I can give you some critics' reviews. Pierre Travers for the Travers Take was not really saying this sequel barely makes the grade as escapism, but wash it down with holiday cheer, put your brain on low power, let forgiveness into your heart, and it's sound the trumpets passable. Now, however, in a decent review from Lisa Candy of the New York Times, says that director Jones and writer Cogshaw return for this better executed, equally goofball follow up. Now, those are just a couple of reviews I'll give to you from top critics. Unfortunately, audiences aren't even thrilled with this either, as this sits at a mere 36% on the popcorn meter, which rather is disappointing. Now then, let me get into more of my thoughts. Now, I am going to agree that this is kind of a little kind of silly and why have you like its predecessor. Well, that may be, but nevertheless, I found the film to be a little bit of a step up from the first one. So, to you critics, no hard feelings, but I thought this was fine. Sure, it does have some of the new characters we saw can make this film a little bit goofy and what have you, but of the whole, I found the film to be pretty good. Now, we have Kevin Mantley on board to do the score again, and it has a pretty good soundtrack, which isn't too bad. But anyway, I am going to say the Family Plan 2 is not as completely bad as people say it is. I think this film's getting a big misunderstanding and what have you. I found the film to be fun. I mean, with its atmosphere around Europe and what have you, not just in London, but in lots of other countries Dan and his family go to. And sure, the game of cat and mouse goes through and what have you, but I found the film to be very entertaining in some parts. Now, some new characters could be a hit or miss, but that's understanding. But of the whole, I found this film to be pretty funny. Sure, maybe some of it wasn't quite as funny as I hoped for, but again, I thought this was a wee bit of a step up from the first film. For the cast, we have Mark Wahlberg once again reprising his role as Dan Morgan. Absolutely really good. Michelle Monaghan returns as his wife Jessica, who is absolutely very good in what have you, especially with what she does throughout the film, showing off her athletic skills in this one scene, but I'm not going to spoil that for you. Zoe Colletti once again reprises her role as Nina, very good. Van Crosby's back as Kyle, he's once again good. Now we have Kit Harington, who you know of Game of Thrones fame as Finn Clark, who happens to be, well, one of the new, I believe, the new villain of the film, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. And Sidse Babette Knudsen, if I mispronounce that name, I apologize, as Svetlana Romanova. Yeah, well, not bad. And Max is played by Pierre and Theodore Lindsay, of course, the youngest of the Morgan clan. So, anyway, I will give them credit for that. And the rest of the cast isn't completely bad and what have you, but sure, it can be hit or miss with them, though. But anyway, overall, I've just gotta say, pretty funny. And one surprise is that Nia's got herself a bit of a boyfriend. That's only one little heads up, just a slight little heads up, I'll tell you. But if you've seen the trailer, then you already know that happened. But I won't tell you how that goes, though, for this. If I had to see the movie, if you've seen the first film, then you must see the second one, hate it or not. Only if you like the first film, you should go for this one, okay? The Family Plan 2, sure, it still has flaws like its predecessor, but at least I thought it was a little bit better than that one. For my score, I'm going to give The Family Plan 2 4 stars. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm giving it an 8. So, what did you think of The Family Plan? The Family Plan 2. Whoops, my bad. Let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video, consider clicking the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel, and you know the rest. Join me next time when I bring to you a review of The Naked Gun. Yes, the original classic itself. So if you like this, check out my reviews for these other films. In the upper left-hand corner, you can see my review of a film that recently celebrated its anniversary this past year that Mark Wahlberg did, and that's The Other Guys, which he and Will Ferrell starred in. Or if you would like another fun-filled film, but with a little bit more, how should I put it to you? Stand by, I'll be back. Okay, sorry about that. I had to make my figuring out what to suggest. Okay, if you like another film you might like if you enjoy this, check out my spoiler-free review of Channing Tatum's recent hit film. Okay, maybe not a big hit film, but you can check out Roof Man, my spoiler-free review of that in the upper right-hand corner, and the bottom left-hand corner is my spoiler-free review of the brand new Now You See Me, Now You Don't. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.